Hello, my name is Ann. Sometimes I make mistakes, and I am not a Warhammer fan, but let's play some Warhammer. Let's play some Mechanicus. I actually really like this game. So, with that being said, however, I would like to offer... I don't know what to call this. Basically a warning. I'm not interested in learning about the lore of this setting, right? I'm like I said, I'm not a Warhammer fan. I like this game because I like the music in it. And it feels good to play, right? I'm not going to be interested in learning about the lore of the setting, no matter how hard you try, right? Because that's not my cup of tea. I like BattleTech. I prefer BattleTech to Warhammer. And so, with that out of the way, let's actually get started, shall we? We'll do a normal game. All of this is fine. This is, I have no idea what this means. Let's go ahead and toggle it, shall we? No, I'm good with that. I'm good with that, and that's fine. All of this is good. Okay. So, yes. So, this Reditus. An echo in the, I don't know what that is. A new sphere? Majos. An old transmission lost in the warp and recovered only now. Is it worthy of our attention? The Great Divide torments the galaxy. The resources of the Adeptus Mechanicus are stretched thin. From Faustinius. We are weaker than ever, though the Imperium at large knows it not. This represents an unknown but possible key to victory. An opportunity to research, perhaps avert the ill fate that has befallen us. The transmission's origin is Silva Tenebris, part of the Emesis Solaris within Ultima Segmentum. Search the rolls, Reditus. Gather them. It's been some time. From Rasak. Whoever finds this transmission follows me here. Give thanks that you will see what I have seen, but be wary, my fellow seekers of knowledge. Whatever lies beneath this world, I fear, I hope, I have woken it. I came to this world to investigate its ruins, but I found so much more. Terrors, yes, threats to body and soul, but by the Omnisaya, I found such wonders. You know? Yeah? Hi. Hi. I love you. I do. This is the last transmission of Majos Rasak. He vanished while on an exploratory mission to investigate xenostructures on Selva Tenebris. From Scaevola, hypothesis. He found something. Our mission on this world is to ascertain any Xenos presence, and if we find it, eliminate it as a threat to the Imperium. The opening of the Great Divide means we can call no additional support from the Forge Worlds. We must achieve this with the troops and resources we bring with us. From Scaevola again. Benefit analysis. Peace for sector. Knowledge for mankind. Increased potential, increased opportunity. Videx. An opportunity to destroy the works of the Scaevola. Not appropriate. Themysciran manuscripts verse 619. What the enemy built, let it be made asunder, for to us it will be as a house of sand and knives. And from Redditus. Magi, we are approaching the target coordinates. The music in this game is amazing. From Kepra. There she is. Temporal climate, atmosphere standard breathable. My Skitarii troop should be able to operate down there without trouble. Are they ready to make landfall? From Faustinius. And from Kepra again. As soon as we're in a stable orbit, Magos. From Redditus, who I gather is this creature right here, the floating skull. Administratrum records indicate a single colony, St. Eckhard's Hope, on the surface near the Xenos ruins. No contact recorded in 2 centuries, colony presumed to fail. From Faustinius. The Skitarii will deploy to the surface near the ruins, along with a team of tech priests under my direct command. I shall monitor them from the command throne on board. Servo Skull Redditus will serve as my eyes and ears on the surface. We make landfall at once. From Capra. Yes, Matos. I'll set up a forward command post. Rasak's transmission looked like it came from underground. We'll secure any entrances to an underground structure so your tech priest can begin the exploration. And we discovered the Agrelec sector, or rather we located it. Although I think this is the sort of game that would, quote-unquote, have us, quote-unquote, discovering things, sort of Christopher Columbus style. This tomb reeks of stale, dusty antiquity. Its once stern architecture is littered with debris and tarnished with patina of age. Here and there, fissures in the structure cast feeble light on cracked and tarnished metal. The tomb was once brutalist and oppressive, as if designed to crush the spirits of its inhabitants. It is no less intimidating now, but instead of evoking a merciless guiding intelligence, it speaks only of decline and death. This place seems abandoned at first glance, but as the exploratory troops move through its hushed corridors, the ancient dust stirs and something long dead begins to take on facsimile of life. Pepra. Going by our fragmentary information, it looks like a buried tomb structure. Faustinius. When the sword of the Omnissiah is ready to fall, we deploy immediately. Scaevola. Let secrets of this world equal 0. From Videx. I counsel caution, Majos Faustinius. Our purpose should be here to destroy the threat of the alien, not to bask in its blasphemy. Aphorisms of the Logic Saints, 7.91, in the presence of the Xenos lies the invisible miasma of corruption. From Faustinius. Destruction is not possible from orbit, Videx. The structure is too deeply buried, and Scaevola, I have no intention of plundering whatever trinkets I can find from this place. From Kepra, the exploratory unit of tech priests is inside the tomb and ready to proceed, Majos. There's no telling what we will find. My men will hold the perimeter in case of the unexpected. It would be folly to commit our whole manpower to the unknown, especially... from Faustinius. It would be folly to commit our whole manpower to the unknown, especially when the potential of a moral threat exists that the Skitarii are less able to withstand. I have the greatest respect for my Skitarii, but they are still far from the ascension that the tech priest affords. I agree, Subdomina. I shall lead this mission in person from the command. Servoskull Herodotus shall be my eyes and ears on the ground. Omnissiah be praised, we're going in. The Adeptus Mechanicus are a curious breed. They explore and interact with machines they do not fully understand. This is the tutorial. So, this is based off of a board game, from what I gather. I will give as much history as I care to have learned. From Tyresus, this could be a sample. This could be a rare sample of the Necron language, Machos. We have barely any knowledge of it. Collecting data from this obelisk could move our understanding of the language ahead for the first time in centuries. This is the work of an alien, Machos. Codex Fulminatus 8312. Show caution, scorn, and all things. Ahead is an obelisk-like object covered in what can only be described as hieroglyphic symbols. It almost reaches the tall ceiling of this chamber. Capra. We're detecting a massive energy spike from inside the tomb. Something's happening there. Something huge. From Row. Noctilith source detected, also known as Blackstone. Request collection immediate. As one of the tech priests kneels to get a closer look at the obelisk, it seems to react to the cohort's presence. The obelisk splits open and a powerful, painful wave of exotic energy spills out. Inside are cluster formations of a rare-looking material. So we've got Blackstone, which is our currency, if I remember correctly. We've got 4 servitors. We've got two Magi here, I suppose. Good combination, though I'm going to be replacing the servitors as soon as I can. Necrons. Rasak did encounter them after all. No wonder he didn't make it off this planet. Every datum we have says they're as deadly as they are human. The cohort encounters resistance in the form of Xenos constructs, not flesh and blood creatures, but artificial bodies that move with precision and coordination. We could follow the established combat engagement protocols. It should be done by the book. We could exercise extreme caution. Do not charge in too heedlessly, lest the trickery of the alien be our downfall, or we could crusade. The aggressive stance of tech priests ensures they will not be outmaneuvered, but risk their running headlong into fire of the enemy. So consistency seems to be neutral. This seems to give us defense, and this seems to give us kind of the jump on the enemy, if that makes sense. I will go for defense. A slow advance risks granting the enemy opportunity to execute an ambush of the Adeptus Mechanicus force. Had our little sort of Matrix-style flash in. Reditus cogitators now function for synthetic forms. Scaevola. Overwhelming excitement. Finally, we can study this standard construct. Necron Warrior, weak spots detected, plus none, equal concerning. From Tyresis, I wonder about the symbols emblazoned on their torsos. It must... From Captrix. Do not underestimate Gauss weaponry, highly volatile. From Faustinius, this is true. I've heard our brothers and sisters, the Mechanicus, have lost their lives trying to solve the mysteries of these Xenos weapons. Approach with caution. From Scaevola, it is also double-checking cogitators. Widely known that they will plus self-repair, plus reanimate, or plus reconstruct themselves if left the time to do so. Wounds that would instantly kill a Scutari are the equivalent to a Class C Graves to Necrons. So we have to kill all the enemies. Okay. I'm trying to remember. I don't believe that there's cover in this game. So we have one guy with a, we have one individual with an axe and what appears to be some sort of like flintlock pistol, and then we have another person with a sort of like ballistic weapon. Yes, thank you for 1 point of damage. So we just got cognition points, which are effectively action points. And these allow us to do things. Cognition points are stored at the bottom of the screen in the CP gauge. So they're a shared resource for the team. We do have a servo skull, which is apparently something like Relatives. Very helpful in combat and cognition point collection. Lovely. We could do that, but I want to... Here's the thing I want to do, is I want to start collecting cognition points immediately. We'll select this individual. They have 6 health and 1 armor. The yellow is physical, the blue is energy, and the red is their health. So we have 1 point of physical and your turn. And then I would like to burn a cognition point. Yes. So this is effectively like dashing XCOM. If that makes sense. Collect our cognition. Okay. Pull ourselves in, and we'll pop this individual with it. With our pistol. Okay. That's the end of our turn. We're going to take a shot. Does energy damage as opposed to ballistic damage. There are things that do ballistic damage. You'll be able to call in other members of the cohort as the battle goes on. This will happen at the start of every round. You'll need cognition points to deploy troops. So let's go ahead and deploy a singular server who appear to be kind of cybernetic organisms. This is part of our troops as opposed to our tech priests. Our troops can die, and that's not an issue. And they're going to whack this individual with their big old meaty claw, and the damage was because of course it was. Anyway, they just took 4 points of damage, and every time they take damage, we get cognition. Come on. Come on. Yes, I'm going to burn a cognition point here. So our ranged weapons are too dangerous to use at close range. Which means... Here we go. It's the end of your turn. They are out of range. So this enemy is going to move out of range and trigger an opportunity attack. This works like in D&D. Like that. Basically, anytime a Necron takes enough damage to be knocked out of commission, they get to be whacked, and any amount of damage they take once they're in that shutdown state basically means they're off. Right, yes. Okay, so this individual is in a shutdown state. Lovely. When we put everybody in a shutdown state, we effectively win a fight. So, HP is consistent between rooms, but not dungeons. Okay, Vola. Hypothesis formulation. Sarcophagi, coffins, burial places, structural purpose designation. In the chambers ahead, there are several groups of structures, like upright coffins of an unknown material. We could ignite, ignore, or we could ignite, intrigue, or ignore. Make sure you destroy any structure that looks suspicious. It is worth pausing in your advance to do harm to the Xenos abominations. Ensure you observe surroundings carefully. Detailed picked grabs and readings may be the key to success. Do not tarry to observe the works of the alien. Press on and avoid any distractions. I'm intrigued. Ah, they're waking up! We got a chunk of blackstone. The cohort examines the sarcophagi and notes that each indeed carries a Necron warform within its heavily armored exterior. They are drawing power from somewhere, so we got 193 total blackstone. After exploring the chamber for several minutes, a tile underfoot clicks, the sound of warring energy builds up around your troops. A quick omnispec scan reveals you're surrounded on all sides by Necrons currently fighting. So we have a nice chunk here, which I'd quite like to grab. Let's see, what do we have here? Are you the one with the axe? No. Actually, in fact, I want you here. Okay. Then I want you here. I would like a couple of servitors. So cognition points also carry over. Cognition points also carry over to the end of a battle, or to other rooms within a tomb. We're gonna take a gunshot here. It's gonna do us a chunk of damage, and we've immediately gotten cognition out of that, which is good. And the music in this game is amazing. This. Go ahead and figure out what you have. It's entirely possible our servitors may not do damage. Oh. Not what I meant to do, but... So it seems like this is, yes, this is a ballistic weapon. Ah, we have Canoptic Scarabs. These are a fun idea. We just gotta ask what are those. So Scalebola says, opportunity equal knowledge gather must obtain required. Rasak, scarabs detected, source data surfacing. No life forms detected, area safe, continue forward. Redditus, verify your cogitators, then tell me what surface from Majors Rasak's cogitators. Scarabs of an unknown Xenos race, synthetic, possibly artificial intelligence. One specimen gathered, AI theory false. Weeks of study show there are many variants of Scarab, each with their own rules within the Xeno economy and architecture. Able to build and deconstruct anything they encounter, they're able to repair other units within their species with lightning speed. Be warned, they're deadly in large swarms. Videk says, it appears the machine spirit is with us. We've been able to access more of Rasak's data than we thought was corrupt. Tyresis says, it must be due to us recording these Xenos forms from the machine spirit. That the machine spirit has blessed us with access to his cogitator records. It's unsure of why he would lock this under the sympathetic proximity encryption. Apparently I'm considered to be out of the range. Nope. Hold on. Yes, I have a feeling I'm going to be throwing away a servitor here. That doesn't feel great, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Love it. End our turn. Canoptic Scarabs, which do acid damage, which is damage over time. Oh! Well, that's not the Servitor I thought I'd be losing. Servitor 1 has died. Do not worry, troops are cannon fodder designed to protect Your tech freeze from enemy attacks. Without tech freeze, your mission will fail. So we've just done our first real bit of damage as this character. We'll end our turn. There we go. That individual just threw down a chunk of damage here. End our turn. Okay. Got more CP. Which is not a great acronym for this, but what are you gonna do, right? Maybe throwing away this other server here. I'm really concerned that that's what's gonna happen. Yup, 3 points of damage. So you have one point of health here. Okay. I mean, there's nothing you can do. Yes, I know I delayed a unit's turn. It's fine. I'm okay. This should be correct, I think. This should leave us with... We see the little icon that shows us that, okay, sword damage was absorbed. And a return here. Let's plant you here, and hopefully you don't die. That's it. We're good. I'm good. Oh, you're gonna fire on my... Oh. Rude. So, we're getting told that the more we use a weapon, the more likely it is to build up a chunk of damage. And effectively, we can farm extra damage if we do damage with our weapon. So, we've just finished. We've got one more, and our cohort is looking a little thin right now. Okay, so this is the end of the dungeon here, or it's a point of interest. So our primary focus is trying to figure out how many there are, you know, what their defenses are, where they are, right? Okay, there's apparently a data loom that we need to deal with. Scaevola wants to take control of a priest here. Idea, Majos, if I may take host of this priest, I could be of assistance. And that's been approved. No spheric interfacing data complete. Hard to decipher purpose. List of suggestions. Majos. Deconstruct device. Activate switch mechanisms. Learn Necron language and return later. What will it be, sire? Always so meticulous with your lists, Tech Inquisitor. Engage on Xenos mechanisms, although I detest to do so. The promises and rewards are too great to ignore. Having to lower ourselves to the Xenos learnings may be the only way to reach the archaeotech we seek. So just had a protocol update. Confusion. No spheric interference? Disconnect at once. Purged, reset. No spheric disconnect complete. Possible scrap code. We'll fragment now. Fragmenting. Sire, we have an unfavorable issue to deal with. Requesting Dominus input. Fragmenting. Explain. Aztec Inquisitor Scaevola left suddenly, my cogitators glitched. Augmentations entered sporadic reaction protocols and have fried vital regitories. Unclear full damage report. Necron device is now active, sire. Fragmenting. 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 Frag. Remove yourself from the noosphere, Scaevola. Redditus report. The tomb is waking, sire. Reports from Skitarii cohorts across the planet note that tremors vex their locals. We've lost contact with the Skitarii that were covering the entrance to this tomb. We can hear noises of approaching forces. Improve protection protocols, load weapons, and ready for what is to come. We must face them.
I wake with the turning of aeons. Stars yet burn, life yet blossoms. Is it truly time?
I love that he has a pirate hat. From Kepra. Thrones of Mars, what was that? From Roditus, an omni-linguistic transmission, Majos. It seems these mute constructs are not the only inhabitants of the structure.
What is this? Flesh and steel combined. A mockery of both. Their every footstep a blasphemy. What manner of galaxy is this into which I have awoken?
From Captrex, Principal Xenos Warform sighted. Exotic energy signatures past sensor range. Designate Xenos Abominatus. High value target confirmed. The hunt is on. What are your orders, Majos? The cohort reaches a large chamber beneath the first layers of the Xenos ruins. Bridges stretch from balancing platforms barely holding themselves together while rubble falls from high walkways like breadcrumbs escaping into the abyss below. Let's fall back. I concur, Majos, but I fear this will not give us leave to depart.
Insects. This galaxy is infested with vermin.
So we have to fight. So we have an individual who is basically a sailboat. And I I think that's hilarious. So that should be the end of his turn. Definitely got some Haunted Tomb vibes here. I can't do anything successful here.
Sailed the void for 1,000 years. I fought the war in heaven. What can you do to strike fear in one such as I?
It's a goofy pirate robot, and I love that. Well, that servitor fulfilled its purpose. Come on, buddy, I've got a really interesting friend for you. There you go. No.
How dare these wretched things stand before the void admiral of Cesaragon?
Where are you going, bud? Oh gosh. That's not good. That's not good, I've decided. Come here, buddy. Oh God, what have I done? Hey, buddy. No. Ow. Oh good, they're dead. The question is, does this provoke an attack of opportunity? There we go. We've walked out. The cohort successfully escapes the Xenos life forms, and that's the end of the mission. Report, Capra. Well, we got the squad out alive, Majos. That has to count as a victory under the circumstances. We encountered a Necron war form with capability well beyond our expectations. Yes, I do not need to hold my emotional engrams. However, one battle won is not a success. We will eventually face losses on this mission. When this happens, we must press on beyond our failures to reach success. And there is something else. The reanimation. The Necrons are waking up. It started when Rasak stumbled on the tomb, but our arrival is accelerated in the process. That obelisk may have been a form of intruder alarm, and now the sarcophagi in the tombs are starting to open. Then we no longer enjoy the luxury of time. Whatever we do on Silva Tenebris, it must be done before the Necrons awaken completely. We do not even know yet how far the tomb complex extends. We are under the gun, then. Omnissiah preserve us if our duty is ever easy. I return sorrow and despair from my emotional cores, but I see they lack the logic to determine decision-making. Instead, I choose to quarantine them and adjust our approach. The word of the Omnissiah teaches us that when one method fails, another must be sought out. Another must be sought until all are exhausted. Then what are your orders, Majos? The Scutari will explore the tomb chamber. the tomb, chamber by chamber, and maintain a foothold. My tech priests will be deployed to achieve crucial objectives and respond to crises. Time may be a factor, but our mission can only be achieved with the thoroughness of full deployment. I shall mobilize the Scutari immediately, Majos. From Scaevola. Leader form opportunity detected. Leader forms of Necrons rarely never observed. Potential of increased intelligence on Necrons added to sum total of human knowledge. Imperative. Focus on acquiring artifacts, intelligence, data from Vedex. Honestly, this guy is starting to sound more and more like this to me. Hold your blasphemous tongue, Scaevola. You counsel the abandonment of our very souls. Life of Archmagus Boresis, Appendix 9. Our only objective should be death to the alien and all his works. All else is deviance from the Omniscire Creed. If intelligence gain equal true, then go to victory. Aphorism retrieval. To face an enemy unknown is to fight in the dark. Better in ignorance than heresy. Dustinius. I return frustration at your conflict and choose to experience it. There will be bloodshed enough on Silva Tenebris without the Magi coming to blows. In our purpose, we are united. This is the will of the Omniscire. And it shall be done. Yes, it shall be done. Majos, the readings for the tomb are troubling. The Scutari have been monitoring the structure we uncovered, and what they have found gives me grave concern. Explain, xenobiologists. The Necron construct forms are waking up. It seems Majos Rasak accidentally began the process and our intrusion into the structure hastened it. These Necron reanimation protocols are continuing in the tomb we entered, and from the energy spikes across the region, there are other structures yet to be uncovered. My plan for the exploration of Silva Tenebris will locate these structures and contain the constructs within. That may not be enough, Majos. I've detected a repeating pattern in reanimation protocols, and the rate the Necrons are awakening, they're speeding up. Can you be certain? The Necrons are machines. Machines act according to patterns and programs. If the reanimation protocols continue to accelerate, they will fully awaken every Necron on this planet in 264 hours, given the extent of the buried structures that will constitute a Necron army beyond this mission's ability to contain. I see. Then our time here is limited. Strategic calculation did indicate time spent on missions will affect the overall number of missions we'll be able to deploy. From Kepra. I will send Scutari scouting parties to discover other tombs and create forward positions for high priority missions, sire. If the threat on Silva Tenebris is not assessed and eliminated before full reanimation is reached, we will be forced to abandon the planet. So we've got a little thing at 0% here. That's basically how long we have. I fear they are right. I feel fear too. That is part of my humanity, and I've chosen to retain. but I can quarantine it in my narrow vaults and choose instead to focus on what must be done. We must choose our missions wisely. It will not be easy. The Omnicide did not send us here to do anything easy. The threat to humanity present on this world will be eliminated, or we shall not leave. Thus the equation is balanced. It is the will of the machine. So, we have located an area. The Acropos sector was located. This tomb is bathed in sickly green light that serves not to illuminate, but only to make the shadows deeper. Every surface seems connected via filaments of alien light. The design here speaks of Xeno's tech heresy, forbidden knowledge, and a structure as alive and aware as anything inhabited. Early exploratory readings indicate the walls are made of substances not known to the ritual and metallurgy. Abstract designs carved into the substance suggest unknown regions of space mapped according to some alien understanding. The weight of such blasphemy slows the steps of the first troops to enter here. The heresies of knowledge are deadly enough that it seems unlikely they are the only dangers here. Welcome to the Castus Metallica, an Arch Mechanicus class of battleship. This class of ship is one of the largest in the Imperium, and it is only important to the Adeptus Mechanicus. From here, you'll be able to customize your tech priests and prepare for missions ahead. You can select missions from the character portraits on the left of the screen. There we go. We have our cohort here too. Welcome to the cohort quarters. Here you can see all the available tech priests and troop units currently unlocked. Troop units are shown at the top of the screen. Here you can see what skills each troop has available and all statistics for each unit. Tech priests are shown in the bottom 6 slots. I can begin my... So I have a new Magos here. Let's see, we have customization. We have a number of slots here that just sort of click in. We have a phosphor blast pistol. We have a power axe here. And we have a macro stubber here, which does 2 to 4 damage. This does, so the power axe costs 1. Remind me again where this huddles up. How much can you carry? Can you reasonably carry? You need more augments. So, this is the discipline screen. You can upgrade them here. So there are 6 disciplines here. The one that I want is the Lex Mechanic, or is the engine seer for right now, because this is basically our battle medic or combat medic. We have the Dominus, which is the sort of just pure combat one. The Lex Mechanic has some interesting utility to it. And they're all about getting cognition. The Tech Auxilium has a large amount. The Tech Auxilium is basically a support class that gives you some neat stuff, right? The Secutor is, if I remember correctly, they're basically like a commander. So, and the Explorator is all about, well, exploring, right? So, I want the Engine Seer. This costs 121 Blackstone. Okay. So we can also... Let's see, how much augment capacity do we have? So, what does this take? This takes 1 augment, and this takes 1. Can I give you... I can give you 2 pistols. That is incredible. So, yes, we've got our first character, whose entire thing is that they can take more augments. Okay. So 134 Blackstone for our next rank, and we have 179 in total. Let's return to our cohort. Let's grab Jeremiah. And let's go ahead and get you the... let's go ahead and get you the Dominant, or... let's go ahead and get you the Secutor. Or which one do I want to give you? Because basically I want to update you with a ton of damage here. Which one is the melee damage? Okay. Alright, so this is basically ranged, this is basically melee. Let's go ahead and... Let's go ahead and give you this, an axe, and we'll give you a physical weapon. Let's see, what does that cost? Okay, we'll give you an axe and a pistol here. And you can see they've got funny little mechanical arms that allow them to do that. As we get further along in this, they will be more machine than man. Let's see here. I kind of want to give you more, so we have funny little machine guns, basically. The blinding light fire phosphor weaponry is utilized to mark out high-priority targets amongst the battlefield. So our phosphor weapons reveal statistics. These are basically flat-out machine guns that deal a little bit of acid damage over time, which I think is hilarious. The other thing I'd like to do is I'd like to return to the cohort here, and I would like to adjust our color scheme here. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of... I always kind of like a nice little, that's a nice solid choice here. All right. Okay, that should be fine, I think. We do have servitors. These are going to slowly unlock over time as basically our other units. We do have tech as well. We can find tech as we go on. We have standard template constructs. Basically, we have the phosphor blast pistol. As we go through, right, we have level 1 servitors. We have various upgrades we can make to the ship. And then we have the Litany of Life, which is a canto. And I like this because it basically allows us to do healing. So we've got a deployment here that'll give us the Macro Stubber and the Omni Specs, which is a not entirely terrible piece of kit. Or we have the Phosphor Serpenta, which I thought was a neat piece of kit. And the Curatio Claw. I think if we're doing this, we're going to have to do the Winds of Change, because I need to be able to heal people. So we are deploying a Sensor Servitor. Sounds goofy. Also grants us the amount of Blackstone, the same amount of Blackstone, right? So the Curatio Claw is basically a healing option. The Omni Specs kind of throws off aim, which is a nice thing. The Macro Stubber is... I've already seen this. Basically, it's like a standard pistol. Let's go ahead and deploy. We have a goofy-looking transport here. So we're going with the Litany of Life, because that's a good one. And that's all we have. I called you here Lector Dogmatus Videx because your knowledge of spiritual matters and the cult Mechanicus will be crucial in dealing with any moral threats on Silva Tenebris. I have 543,021 works of scripture stored for rapid context topical retrieval. There is no obstacle beyond my capacity to counsel you. From Scaevola. Unnecessary use of cogitator power. Waste of resources, Vedex. Inefficient use. Go to Augmetic Bay for improvements. From Videx. The Xenos tomb is revealed to us as a great hungry maw that seeks to consume our very purity. The blasphemy reeks from every corner of the tomb of Aglamet. From Faustinius. Most poetic, Lector Dogmatos. Your thoughts on how to proceed? I shall take my cues from the writings of Archmagos Veneratus Hereticus. Let the stench of corruption be swept aside by the sweet winds of faith. One of my census servitors will clean the spiritual corruption with blessed incense. Then deploy one immediately. My thoughts exactly, Majos. With your assistance, the Omnissiah's work shall be done. The sensor servitor is deployed at the tomb entrance, Majos. I am ready to send it on its way. Halt, Subnautica. Sorry. Halt, Subdomina. The sensor servitor is a delicate piece of machinery. It is ill-suited to hostile territory. Avalorians 5591. Fragile indeed are the tools of the righteous. It must be escorted on its sacred duty. Don't be ridiculous. Every step we take in the tomb risks the lives of our personnel. If the spiritual integrity of the mission is truly is at stake, Subdominican brother, it is worth the risk. And I assure you, it most definitely is. I already sent a team ahead. I foresaw your emotional connection to your troops, Capra. If you are ever to be a Dominus, I must show you how to command. My gratitude, Majors. The Xenos corruption will destroy us as surely as the guns of the enemy. Very well. This will be done. So, with that, we are actually going to drop a save. Okay, so we dropped it. And then we're going to call that the part. So we've been recording for about an hour, but expect this to come back, because I do actually like this game quite a bit.